Hello. Gabby, I'm going to have you talk for just a second because it's not on your end, it's on mine because even that was glitchy. So I will be right back.
Okay, then. Hello, people. I would bring your comment up, but I can't because I don't have the power right now. How's everybody's Friday going? Anyone? Somebody? Hello? There's no audio? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, good. I was just texting Carmen saying maybe it wasn't her. But this happened last time. She will be back. She's way better at talking to you guys than I am. Sorry.
I don't know what's wrong.
Can you hear me?
I can. It's just on mine, like everything's just super glitchy. And I tried to connect it and reconnect it, but it's still.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't have to talk. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. Anyways, hello, Bri. Gabby.
Yeah, I know. Bad Dazzer. I know.
Hello, let's go. And the bad Doja. Yeah, it's my end. I don't know what's wrong with my headset right now. Before we get started, I want to give a huge thank you to Broken Baker's channel in chat. I am not one to tear up or get emotional, but when I saw how much you guys had donated to my gear, like when I clocked out and I looked, yeah, I choked up. So thank you guys so much. I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. It means the absolute world to me. I don't know if you guys saw, but Baker's chat raised like $300 today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was. I don't even know the words. Anyways, we're gonna continue this Sergeant Mark Habib. We're gonna finish him up. It's like an hour and 30 minutes, 34 minutes or whatever it is. Basically, just to get it done, over with, and so we can start with Jason, the other boyfriend who took a plea deal, got sentenced to 50 years for the unaliving of Rachelle Waterman's mother. So we're just gonna get done with this one real quick so everybody can go about their Friday and weekend. So without further ado, let's get going.
If you could come forward, retake the witness stand, watch those 2 steps, and sir, I remind you that you remain under oath. And when we broke, Mr. Wells, you were questioning Sergeant Habib.
Thank you. Do you still have the transcript up there that I had provided you yesterday?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you look at, well, real quickly before we begin, on page 52 of the transcript, that's the end of the interview with Sergeant McPherson, isn't it?
It appears to be, yes.
And that ended at 12:56 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
And that would be 12:56 in the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you had started, and we left yesterday essentially where you had started talking with Mr. with Mr. Aaron. Let's go through his statement. Actually, let me be a little bit more honest. Let's go through your statement. You start out and you tell Mr. Aaron right away, there's more to this shit. This ain't over. This is not over. There's one more person out there running free. You've been scammed. You two have been scammed, bottom line, right?
Yes.
Top of page 54.
Yes.
And then you go on and you talk some more about how, about Rachelle. You don't get her name right. And you tell Mr. Aaron that you've interviewed a lot of people, right?
Correct.
You don't tell him that not one of the people that you have interviewed ever said Rachelle wanted her mom dead, do you?
No, I do not.
You don't ever tell him that not one of the people ever said Rachelle was anything other than an ordinary teenager, did you?
Did I say, I'm sorry.
You did not tell Mr. Aarons that nobody had ever said that Rachelle was anything other than an ordinary teenager.
I did not say those exact words, no.
You didn't say anything approaching those words, did you?
No.
You just said, do you know how many people I have talked with?
Yes.
And then you go on, and then sort of towards the top at the top of page 55, you say, you two came up with this all on your own. Not happening. I don't buy it. I won't buy it. And I won't stop until we find out the truth. Don't you?
Yes.
Right after that, you say, she put you guys up to it. Jason, she strung you out fast. Don't you?
I'm sorry, you're on page 55, sir?
55, line 11.
Okay, I see it.
She put you guys up to it, right?
Yes.
Now, at this point, Jason hasn't said anything about that, has he? Mr. Aaron has not told you any information about her involvement, if any, in
No.
this plot, has he?
No.
You've been the one that's telling him what you believe.
I'm telling him what our investigation is somewhat showing him what we believe, correct?
Well, we'll deal with that in just a second. You go down and you say, I've seen her every day this week. Every day I've made a point of going up to that school. That's right at page 13 and 14, lines 13 and 14, right?
Yes.
Now, actually, that's not true, is it? You testified yesterday, or that Monday was your day off, right?
Correct.
And that you had been called late in the afternoon by Chief C, right?
Yes, sir.
And that when speaking to Chief C, you did not go to the school, you went to either the Craig Police Department?
Police Department.
Okay. And then the next morning after the briefing, you went to the Craig Middle School, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you did not see Rachelle on Monday, right?
No, I did not.
Okay, and so you went to the Craig Middle School in the morning of Tuesday, right?
Yes.
And after that, you then went to the Waterman house to search with the, to help with the search warrant, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so you did not go to the Craig High School then on Tuesday?
I don't remember going to the Craig High School on Tuesday, no.
And so you didn't see Rachelle then on Tuesday, did you?
I don't remember seeing Rachelle on Tuesday, no.
Okay, that's not what you told Mr. Aaron, though. You said, I've seen her every day this week, right?
That's what my statement was, yes.
Okay, you said every day I make a point of going to that school, right?
Correct.
And actually, you went to the school only twice, didn't you?
No, I believe I went to the school probably 4 or 5 times throughout that week. I went to the school, I know the 2 times I did the interviews with kids, and there was I don't know exactly how many times. There were a few other times I went up to the school and stopped in.
Actually, you went up to the school to interview the volleyball team, didn't you?
That was
late.
way after the
wasn't
fact,
it?
yes.
It was on Thursday that you were dealing with the technical aspects of the glass warrant. Where
Yes.
people would wear a wire.
Thursday afternoon.
In the afternoon. In the morning, you were standing outside when Jason was being interrogated. That's what you testified to yesterday.
When, at Trooper Post?
Thursday morning, yes.
Yes, Thursday late morning, I had left Trooper Post after the briefing and went back to Craig. I was going to go up to the high school. I believe I got up into the high school, and I don't remember if I got out of my car and got into the high school, or if I was still in my car when Sergeant McFerrin called me on my cell phone and asked me to come back.
So your testimony then yesterday that you saw Rachelle twice on Wednesday was accurate?
Twice on Wednesday?
Yes, you said you saw her when you interviewed Laura Taylor, and you saw her when you interviewed Amanda Voslo.
Yes.
All right, so you didn't see her every day at that school.
I don't recall if I did or not.
Well, I just asked you and you said you hadn't seen her Monday, right?
I did not see her Monday.
You did not see her Tuesday.
I did not see her Tuesday,
You did
no.
not see her Thursday.
I don't recall if I saw her Thursday or not. If I did see her, there was nothing specific about me seeing her.
She hadn't popped her head in to look
No,
at you.
not on Thursday.
You didn't see her Friday, right?
We can check something here real quick.
Sure.
No, sir. I did not have any notes to say I saw her on Friday.
So what you were telling Jason at that point was not true, wasn't it?
Not fully, no.
And when we tell people that something that's not true, we generally call that a lie, don't we?
Yes.
So you lied to Jason.
Yes.
All right. And then down at the bottom of page 55, you said, she's all over this, man. You may be bullshitting these guys because you don't know them and they don't know you, but you're not bullshitting me, right?
Yes.
And then you go on and you say, that girl played you again. Top of page 56, right?
Yes.
So at this point, you have told Jason 5 times what you want him to say.
No, I've told him 5 times information that we believe to be true and that we were following up an investigation on.
You've told him 5 times what you believe and what you want him to say.
I am not saying I want him to say that. I'm telling him information that we have to make him understand that we have more information in this investigation than he believes. I'm trying to give him an opportunity to start being completely honest with us. At that point in time, we did not feel he was being completely honest with us at all.
The interview with Trooper McFerrin ended, it was clear. He had said, Rachelle had nothing to do with this, right?
Yes. I believe. I wasn't present for that interview.
It's on that transcript. Would you like to look at it?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. You mean the first page on here?
The first page, page 50.
Hold on one second. Baker, I know I already told you this. Thank you times a million for you and your chat. Like I said, you guys, you almost got a tear. I don't even cry when people die. She almost had me. It made me choke up. I was happy that I was in my car by myself and had tinted windows where nobody could see me. But yes, thank you so much. I don't know, Shinny, if you're in here, I saw that you just did a donation. Thank you. I don't know how to put into words how thankful I am and grateful I am for you guys and everybody that's donated. It means the world. A tear did not come down my face, but it almost did. We'll say that. And I know Gabby's just always real hard on you. Oh, that's really bright. Yeah. So, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you don't at all. Gay people are weird. Yeah, I know. What I heard that he likes to get in like bubble baths, light his candles, and then just cry. That's okay. Everybody has to let it out. But yes. Thank you. Frank, I see that you're in here. Hello. If I don't pull a chat up, it's because this has been screwing up ever since I started 17 minutes ago. Hey, Nidoa. But we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible because Gabby and I have somewhere to be later. And plus, I really just want to get this guy done and over with. Gabby, you got anything to say? No?
Right?
He states, not, when you're talking about the discussions, was he privy to any of this discussion about
He says, just,
how are you going to do this?
did you ever tell Rachelle was going to happen? She was never privy, not with me. She might have been with Brian. Blah, 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 right?
Yes.
I can't say whether he did or not.
Yes.
And, all right, with that point, he's saying that Rachelle had nothing to do with it. And you tell Jason 5 different times that you think she does.
Yes.
Well,
The investigation team is thinking this.
obviously, let's start there for just a second. You're not infallible, are you?
No.
You make mistakes,
Absolutely.
and investigation teams make mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
And you said this is what you believe, right?
Yes.
Now, forgive me for asking what may seem a stupid question, but you've never been a teenage girl, have you?
A teenage girl? No, sir.
Okay. You never thought and felt and expressed what a teenage girl thinks and feels and expresses, have you?
No, sir.
How long have you been a police officer?
Approximately 18 years.
18 years. And before that, you were in the military, right?
Yes.
For what, 8 years?
Approximately 8 years, yeah.
Okay. So you've got 26 years of law enforcement and military experience, right?
Yes, sir.
More experience doing that than Rachelle's even been alive.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think that might just color a little bit how you perceive things?
No.
You're not going to admit, like Trooper Claus, that everybody talks to the cops is lying, are you?
I'm sorry?
You're not going to admit, like Trooper Claus, that you believe everybody that talks to the cops is lying, are you?
I'm not going to say everybody that talks to the police is lying. I'm saying that when we talk to people and we conduct interviews with people, we don't normally just stand on their statements alone. We like to follow up with additional statements from other people or evidence to back up their statements. Yes, people do lie to the police.
And that affects how you perceive what you hear, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Now, at this point, you ask a very interesting question to Jason, don't you? Line 7 and line 8. You say, why should I care, Jason? Why? Think about this. Why should I care? You ask him that question twice, right?
Yes.
You go on and you say, he and Brian are going to get charged with murder 1. That's as high as it goes. You say, I should walk out of here and say, hey, case status fucking closed, man. These morons got played and she's walking fucking free. That's what you say, right?
Yes.
But you give an answer as to why you should care, don't you?
Yes.
Your question, why should I care? Now, your answer is not, we want to make sure for the protection of society that everybody that's involved with this is punished, is it?
I'm sorry?
On line 14 through 21, you don't say, for the protection of society, everybody that's involved with this needs to be punished, do you?
No, I say I have respect for his mother. I've known her for 11 years. I've worked with her for 11 years. There's no way you guys decided, oh my God, poor Rachelle.
Actually, you say, oh my God, poor Rachel, don't you?
Or, I'm sorry, Rachel, yes.
Yeah, you still don't get her name right, do you?
I made mistakes on her name, correct.
You make mistakes.
I made mistakes on her name, pronunciation of her name, yes, Rachelle.
I have more respect for your mother than that. Should it make a difference whose mother Jason's mother is?
In the investigation, no, sir.
You say you've known her for 11 years, right?
Correct, sir.
And she's the dispatcher at the Craig Police Department, right?
She is, sir.
And actually, she dispatches also for the troopers and for the Cloak Police Department, if I understand correctly.
She works for the Craig Police Department. The police department has contracts with troopers. Yes.
So they handle the dispatch service for all of the dispatch needs. EMS too?
EMS for Craig Police Department, Cloak Police Department. They handle dispatch services for the state troopers, Cloak Police Department.
Now, as a police officer, you rely a great deal on your dispatcher, don't you?
Yes.
If you're ever in trouble for whatever reason, you want to make sure that that dispatcher is there behind you, don't you?
I expect all my dispatchers to be attentive at their duties, and part of their duties are keeping track of all the officers when they're on duty and what actions they're taking, make sure they're safe.
And so if you wind up in trouble because of an automobile accident on bad roads, because you come upon a scene where you need help, because you're involved in dealing with a bad guy, you want the dispatcher there, right?
We want communication with the dispatcher. Do we want to be able to depend on the dispatcher to support us? Yes, we do.
Because the dispatcher is going to be the one to make sure that you get help, right?
The dispatcher is your lifeline, yes.
The dispatcher is your lifeline. And she's been your lifeline for 11 years, right?
She's worked for the department for 11 plus years.
11 plus years. And so because of that, you don't buy it that these guys just came up with it on their own. That's what you say. You say, I'm not buying it.
No, I don't believe that.
Well, let's turn this situation around a little bit. Let's say that Lauri Waterman had not been murdered, okay? And in the course of your investigation, you find out that Jason Aarons, a 25-year-old man, is having sex with Rachelle when she's 15, that he's giving her drugs, that he's giving her booze, that he's giving her cigarettes, that he's instructing her on how to pose for him. If Jason Aarons was prosecuted, you wouldn't come into court and say, I believe she manipulated him, would you?
No, and if I didn't have any evidence or any information indicating that she or anybody else was involved in that offense, no, I wouldn't.
Well, that's not quite my question. Under the law, it doesn't matter if somebody under the age of 16 wants to have sex with somebody over the age of 25, does it?
No.
It doesn't. The law presumes that there's a manipulation going on, doesn't there?
The law states that it's illegal to do.
The law states that
Yes.
there's reasons for that, right?
Yeah, there's several reasons, I'm sure, for it.
There are several reasons. And if you wound up in a prosecution, you're called to testify in the case of State of Alaska versus Jason Aarons for possession of child pornography, for indecent viewing, for exploitation of minors, for sexual abuse of a minor, for providing alcohol to a minor, for providing drugs to a minor. You're not going to stand up in that case and say, you know what, she manipulated him, are you?
I'm going to investigate the case, and I'm going to act on the information we received throughout the investigation. If that information indicates anybody else was involved in any way, shape, or form, we're going to continue to investigate that person and investigate them for prosecution purposes. Am I going to automatically assume that this young person, this young girl, manipulated them? I may assume it. I may have information to indicate that that did happen. But if it's not a crime for that person to do that, then there's nothing I can do about that.
It doesn't matter legally in one sense, does it?
It does to an extent, yes.
You're not going to sit there and say that Jason Aarons should get punished less because she manipulated him, are you?
If Jason Aarons was investigated for sexual abuse of a minor, providing that minor with alcohol or drugs, it's going to be investigated and he's going to be arrested.
He's going to be prosecuted.
Yes.
He's going to be prosecuted. And you go on after that. You go on after that. At the bottom of page 57, you say, I've been doing this for 16 years. I know people. I know their behavior. Human behavior, that's what I do.
I gotta pause real quick. Hey, Shinny, I saw your donation. thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. And thanks.
Dude, that's why I can't hear the tape. They sent me to school for all this. What school did you go to?
I was referring to the schools that I've been to in my experience.
As part of a law enforcement?
Yes.
Like what schools are those?
Death investigation school, basic and advanced read, interview, and interrogation school.
I'm sorry, which one? I didn't hear that last one.
Basic and advanced read, interview, and interrogation school.
Was that taught here in Alaska?
It's taught all over the United States.
Oh, I understand that, but that's the one that, did you go to the class here in Alaska? Or did you go
I went to
somewhere
both those courses, I believe, in Anchorage.
in Anchorage? Okay, and what else?
I don't have my training records here.
Okay. But you went to schools like that to be able to deal with your job as a police officer, right?
Yes, I've been to schools for sexual assault investigations. Like I said, death investigations, drug enforcement schools, drug investigations.
Sexual abuse of a minor investigations? Or is that just a subset of sexual
That's
assault?
sexual assault, and that was taught in academies.
In those cases, they don't just presume that somebody that's under the age of, that's under a legal age manipulates people to get sex, do they?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Let me ask it this way. Aren't you taught in those courses, don't you sort of look at it as men that have sex with minors are manipulating them and preying on them?
At times, yes.
At
At times, that is the case in those investigations, yes. I have had cases of sexual abuse of minor where the victim in the case, 15 years old, or was consenting.
But they can't consent.
But they can't consent by law, and the older person is the one at fault.
All right. On the next page, you go on and end page 58, about line 9 and 10. You say, this is a stupid little bitch, man. Come on. Do you think that's appropriate for a police officer to say that?
Which page are you on?
Page 58, lines 9 and 10.
No, that's not appropriate. There was a lot of language in here that was not appropriate, and I apologize for that. I apologize to the jury for having to hear that. At that point in this interview, I was trying to, for lack of better words, connect with this young man and talk with him and try to invoke his trust and get him to open up about this. I made it very clear to him that he was going to be charged, or he's charged with murder in the first degree, and there's really not a lot we can do about that, but we felt there was more to this case based on our investigations and our interviews. I was trying to basically, I don't know if I want to say I was trying to come down to his level and not play the suit and tie police officer sitting there talking to him. I was trying to, relate and get in there with him and talk with him.
And get him to talk.
I wanted him to cooperate with the investigation. My whole goal in this was not so much to get him to tell me everything. I wanted him to talk to me about the case. I wanted him to talk to investigators about the case. I wanted him to agree to cooperate and go in and have another discussion with Sergeant McPherson about this and start telling him the whole truth. Several times throughout the investigation, Jason had interviews with Sergeant McPherson and Trooper Klaus, and each time, and this is very important in the investigation, each time he gave a little more information about his involvement, and we did not feel that he was finished giving us the information.
You go on and you say, after this, page 58, your case is not over, right? About line 15 or 16. You see it there?
Just 1 second, sir. Yes.
Your Honor, for completeness, could you just read the whole paragraph?
Sure. That's why this isn't done. Just because you're in jail and Brian's in jail doesn't mean you guys are going home. Your case is not over, right?
Correct. I was saying to him that basically they're not going home, they're in jail. And I said, your case is not over. What I was referring to was basically the investigation. This investigation is not over. Brian, oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you go on down a little bit later and you say, I'm not trying to find out, Jason. I know. They know she had something to do with it, right? That's at the bottom of page 58, the top of page 59. Right?
I'm reading before that, sir, to make sure that it's not taken out of context. You talking about page or line 25? I'm not trying to find out.
Right. I'm not trying to find out, Jason. The bottom, top of page 59, I know. They know she had something to do with this.
Yes.
Then you talk about, then you spend the next page essentially talking about the computer stuff, right?
Yes.
Down about page, line 19, I've got half your emails already printed out. This is even before we see your computers. Because you know who's the stupid shit and leaves that crap on her computer? And Jason says, Rachelle.
Yes.
Now, you looked at, you're part of the investigating team in this case, right?
Yes.
And they seized Rachelle's computer, right?
Correct.
And they had one email from Jason on it.
I don't know what they had at that time.
You don't know what they had.
I don't believe I knew at that time what they had on it.
You didn't know at that time.
No.
So you say, you know who's the stupid little shit and leaves that crap on her computer? He says, Rachelle. You didn't know what she had on her computer,
No.
but you acted like you did.
Absolutely.
You can't show any sort of hesitation in these interrogations, can you?
It's not that I want to show any type of hesitation in the interrogation stage. There are several different techniques that are used in that stage. One of the
just to overemphasize or exaggerate the evidence, isn't it?
one is to basically make the subject understand or believe that you have, or the investigation team has more evidence against them than they know we have. It makes them start wondering, oh gosh, did I forget this? Did I forget to get rid of that? Did I cover myself on this? And then once that person starts telling us the truth or opening up, then we follow up with their statements to back their statements up with evidence. And yes, in cases like, or in interrogation stage like this, my attempt is to, well, for lack of better words, I don't want to give him time to think about more lies. I want him to hear the information that we're putting out, the way the investigation's going, that we are not believing this. We feel he's lied to us in the past. He's continuing to lie to us. I don't want him to be able to say, well, wait a second, every time I say something, he thinks about a lie to try to cover that up.
You go on and you say on top of page, or back about the middle of page 60, the bottom question is, the chick who played with people, this up and coming Black Widow, she goes free, right?
I'm sorry, page 60?
Page 60, lines 11 through 13.
Yes.
And then a bit down on page 61, and unfortunately it's hard to hear from the tape and it's hard to hear on the transcript, but Jason says something, you say, what? He says something and you say, of course you did, of course you did. My God, we've known this, Jason.
Which line is that, sir?
Page 5 on page 61.
Line 5?
Yeah, I'm sorry, line 5. Line 5. There's kind of a brief discussion, and then about line 8, you say, of course she did. Of course she did. My God, we've known this, Jason. And Jason says, I just assumed you were looking for me to say that, which was the reason for that, right?
Yes, that's what it says.
I just assumed you were looking for me to say that.
Yes.
And then a couple of lines further down,
Still on page,
still on page 61, on line 15 through 18, you say, now, do you want to tell me about it? Because without someone telling us, we're going to have to try and pull all this crap in, but in the meantime, she's still running free.
yes,
That's when you finally ask him, are you going to tell me about it, right?
yes,
So if I've counted correctly, you have told Jason some 9 different times that Rachelle Waterman is involved with this before you ask him, are you going to tell me anything about it, right?
I probably referred to him more about that. And I asked him, are you going to talk to me about this?
Well, this is the first time that you ever asked him, are you going to tell me in the transcript, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you've already told you've already told Mr. Arendt 9 different times your opinion.
Yes. The opinion of the investigation team and what we believe from the investigation as far as it's gone so far.
Let me ask you something. How big are investigation teams on homicides? They're generally a little bit bigger than DUI investigation teams, right?
Yes.
So what, 5, 10 people, at least as far as generally police officers, not counting lab techs or something like that?
Not counting lab techs on this specific investigation team?
Just as a general rule.
I don't have a general rule. That would be something you need to address to Sergeant McPherson. He's a homicide investigator. That's pretty much what he does.
So you don't deal with that?
I don't deal with homicides only. In my career, I've dealt with, I believe, 4 homicides.
How big were the investigation teams on those?
About the same size as they were on this one.
About 5 to 10 officers?
No, and on Prince of Wales Island, if we're dealing with a large case such as this one here or a homicide investigation, we're going to be utilizing the resources of Craig Police Department, which is going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 of the officers. We're going to be utilizing the resources of the state trooper post, which is 3 to 5 troopers, depending on what's going on. The state troopers criminal investigation bureau, Sergeant McPherson's team is going to send down 1 or 2 or more investigators.
So you're looking at probably 8 to 12, something like that?
Possibly.
Okay. Okay. And even after that, Jason starts out saying, well, we tried to get her to take legal routes. We weren't really doing any of this, and things had kind of simmered down, right?
Yes.
And you said...
Wait, I'm sorry, which page is that?
I'm sorry, bottom of page 61, top of page 62.
Yes.
And on line 10, you say, well, you're a goddamn idiot if you let her get away with it. Partner, you're a damned idiot if you let her get away with it. I'd have more respect for you if you say, hey, I fucked up, right?
Yes.
So in other words, you tell him that you would have more respect for him if he says, you know what, I messed up and I got played by a 16-year-old, than if he continues to say, no, she had no involvement.
To the extent, yeah.
Well, that's what it says
Yes.
in black and white.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
Again,
You go on and you say, she told you it would be better if she, meaning her mom, was out of the picture. She said more than that. Keep going, right?
yes.
You did not accept it when the only thing that Jason said was it would be better if my mom wasn't here, right?
Yes.
And he says, I don't recall exactly what was said. Doesn't he?
Yes.
He says, I know she wanted her dead, but I don't recall exactly what was said.
Yes.
All right? And then you spend some time and you're discussing this, and Jason's saying, well, okay. Finally says, now she's telling me this, and now she's telling me that. And she was saying that her dad was going to leave town. And
I'm sorry, I'm lost at where you're at here.
Page 63, middle of page 64, you're having a discussion about Rachelle supposedly saying when her dad would be out of town. And you say, what did she say exactly to you? It's at line 11. You see that?
I'm going to read ahead of that first, if I can have a minute.
That's fine, you go right ahead.
Okay.
So you see at line 11, you say, what did she say exactly to you, right?
Yes, starting before that, we were talking about, I say, okay, just before her and her dad left town, she told you that they were leaving town, and Jason states yes. I said, what did he say to you then? She told me that,
Good opportunity to take care of things.
yes,
Like what? To Lauri, did she say, what did she say? And what does Jason say? I'm having trouble recalling the exact words of the conversation, right?
yes,
He says she knew it was going to happen. She was planning on it. She confirmed it. I'm having trouble recalling the exact words of the conversation, right?
yes,
Now, this interview took place on November 19th, right?
correct,
And about a week and a half before is when she had left town, right?
yes,
And Jason can't remember the conversation from a week and a half before in which supposedly she says, I want you to go ahead and kill my mom while I'm out of town.
that's what he's claiming, yes,
That's what he says.
yes,
And then, if you wish to read some more, but through page 65, there's a discussion about what they were planning on. In page 66, there's a discussion about supposedly Jason and Rachelle had a conversation, and top of page 67, page 3, and he says she wanted to know some of the details. I told her I didn't want to talk about it anymore, and she let it go at that.
this is what Jason says.
Mhm.
Yes,
Whether she was there that night or not, I guess we all have to, and it's hard to say. And you respond, oh, she put you up to it. She knew what was going to happen. She wanted you guys to do it, right?
yes. And then I asked him, did she ever talk to Brian?
He says, I don't think so. And that's consistent with what Brian told the police, right? Or you don't know that?
I believe that's consistent with what Brian told the police. At one point in the interview, Jason stated that he believed there was one time that they were all three together and talked.
And shortly after that, you take a break, right?
Yes,
And that's when you go talk to Trooper McPherson.
Sergeant McPherson, yes.
And you come back and you say, all right, they're relieved, and et cetera, et cetera. And you start talking about how she got into the house, right?
How they got into the house?
Yep. Page 68.
Yes,
Starting at line 11, you say, what we gather from the evidence and what he's saying they don't match. She told you guys the best way to get into the house, right?
yes,
And Jason says, she told us how she always snuck out, right?
yes,
And you said, how's that? And she said, he was planning to go through one of the side windows in the garage, right?
Jason says that he, meaning Brian, was planning to go through one of the side windows in the garage. Yes,
And from there, he either removed or tweaked the cat door and reached out, right?
yes,
And you say, but she told you that's how she sneaks out,
question.
right? That was your question,
It was put as a question.
right?
I said, but she
But.
told you that's how she sneaks out? It was a question.
I understand, but the point of the question is you're trying to figure out, did Rachelle Waterman tell Jason that she snuck out through the garage window?
I wanted to know that, yes, because information we had about the investigation indicated that Rachelle had made statements that she sneaks out through a window on the bottom floor. I believe it's like in the back in the guest room. Yes, but Jason is saying that no, it was he was going to use the window off of the garage.
Jason was saying that was the window Rachelle had said she came in and out, right?
He's indicating that.
Yes. And you in fact asked him, you made sure there wasn't a problem through a side window in the garage, right?
Yes.
And you can't hear what he says, and you ask him, did she say that's the best way to get in? And he said, yeah. Right?
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you something. Can I approach the witness, Your Honor? I'm going to show it was 218, 219, 220, 221.
Yes.
I'm asking you to look at State's Exhibits 218 through 221. Those were introduced yesterday in your testimony, right?
Yes, sir.
And those were photographs that you took yesterday, right? I'm sorry, not you took yesterday, but they were photographs that you took and were admitted yesterday.
Yes, sir.
And they were photographs of the window, the garage window that Brian snuck in, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of dust in those windows, right? In the windowsills.
Yes, there is.
And there is one footprint in there, right?
Yes.
One footprint.
There's it appears to be, I can't tell if it's a front of a footprint or if it's the heel of a footprint.
But it's one, whether it's
It's a single.
it's a single footprint.
Yes, sir.
And you understood that just within the previous few weeks, maybe month and a half, Rachelle had been sneaking in and out of the house.
Yes.
And this had happened more than once.
I just knew that she had stated to us investigators that I believe it was that she used the window in like the back TV room on the downstairs floor, not this window.
And there's one footprint on that window, isn't there?
On this one right here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And if she'd been sneaking in and out of that window, given the amount of dust, it's a reasonable assumption that there would be more than one footprint there, right?
Oh, I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Now, there also was no discussion about any keys, were there?
No, I did not recall any discussion about keys.
Were you aware, did you ever talk with Doc Waterman about how the key situation is set up in their house?
I don't believe I did.
Did you ever find out where the spare key is?
I don't recall asking anybody about that.
Did you ever find out what doors the spare key unlocked?
No, I don't recall discussing anything with Doc Waterman about any of the extra keys or keys in the house.
Well, if Rachelle Waterman wants this to happen, wouldn't it be a lot easier for her to say, here's where the key is and use it to get in so you don't have to break in the window?
Objection, speculative.
Overruled. Answered if you can.
I would say that yes, it would be as easy for her to say that as it would be for her to say, I tell you what, I'm going to leave all the doors downstairs unlocked.
But she could also say, in case the doors are locked, here's where the key is, couldn't she?
She could say a lot of things.
In fact, if she had a key, she could say, just in case there are problems and the door is locked and that back door key is moved, here's mine so you can be sure to kill my mom, right?
She could say that or other things, yes.
And in fact, Jason never talked about how there was a key that was given to Brian, right?
He never discussed that with me, no.
And Brian never talked about how he had a key.
No, to my knowledge, he did not talk about a key.
And in fact, they didn't have any plans of the house, did they?
I'm sorry?
They didn't have any plans of the house, did they?
Floor plans?
Right.
I have no knowledge of them having any floor plans, no.
Now, you go on and you talk with Jason about this. Bottom of page 69, you're dealing with the question of the keys, you're dealing with the question of, you say, how were you supposed to get into the interior? And he says, Brian was hoping that one of them would have been unlocked. You say, I need you to tell me detail as much as possible that shows her involvement. You can't not remember, right?
Correct.
And Jason says, I can't say I'm clear. I mean, she knew and she wanted it done, but I'm not sure what else you're asking for, right?
Correct.
Jason's saying, you tell me what you want me to say, right?
Yes.
All right. In fact, actually, if you look at the bottom of page 70, you're talking about all this stuff where Jason and Brian are talking. Line 18, you say, so you were going to go and tell her what? And Jason says, all we told her was we had a plan. Even Jason says, even under the best of your opinion, Jason says, we didn't give her the specific details of it, doesn't he?
You're talking on page 70?
On page 70, lines 20 through 22.
If I could have a minute.
Sure.
Thank you. At the bottom of page 69 where Jason says, I'm not sure what else you're asking me for, I respond by saying, well, how did you know she wanted it done?
Then down at the bottom, I asked you, Jason says, all we told her was we had a plan and we didn't give her the specific details, right?
Yes.
Now, if you look at the bottom of page, you guys talk some more and you try and wrap up some discussions. And the bottom of page 74, the top of page 75 is about where you end.
I don't have that.
You don't have that page?
I stopped at page 73.
Okay, I'll get you page 74. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thank you.
You just talked with Jason, right?
Yes, sir.
You've been telling him 10 different times, we know, right?
Yes.
You've been telling him this is what our evidence shows, right?
I've been talking to Jason, advising him that we did not feel this case was closed yet, that we felt Rachelle Waterman had an involvement in this, and that we were not done with the investigation. We were not going to stop this investigation until we had exhausted all of our resources.
Now, at the bottom of page 74 on line 19, you then ask Jason a question. You say, what key element is there out there that will show her involvement? There's something out there that I'm missing at this particular point. I might not be missing it 2 weeks from now, but right now I'm missing it. I've had a lot on my plate this week, right?
Yes.
You go on and you say, what am I missing? That key element that would tie her into this, right?
That's what I said.
That's what you said. Now, after that, you then went and you had been talking with Trooper McPheron, right?
I'm still on what key element. I don't know if there was a question out there on that.
That's what you said. You'd said that what key element is there, right?
Yes, I was trying to get information from him that only he or the other persons involved would know about that would show her involvement.
What you said was there's no key element, right?
I said, what key element is there that would show her involvement? There's something out there that I'm missing at this particular point in time. I might be missing it. I might not be missing it 2 weeks from now, but right now I'm missing it. I've had a lot on my plate this week. Okay, what am I missing? That key element that would tie her into this? I'm asking him for an element or some type of evidence that we don't know about, that only he and the other persons involved in this crime would know about. This is at a point where we're asking for information to back up the stuff he has been telling us, not just go off face value of his word. I'm trying to extract some kind of information, some kind of piece of key evidence that's going to show the involvement and not have to just rely on his word.
Not have to rely on his word, because his word was not sufficient, was it?
Well, when you're talking about the legal system and criminal law, no one's word is really sufficient.
No one's word is really sufficient. That includes Rachelle's word, doesn't it?
Yes.
Rachelle's confession in and of itself isn't sufficient. You just said no one's word is sufficient, right?
No one's word in and of itself we can never consider to be enough evidence to convict somebody or charge somebody with a crime. We try to obtain as much evidence and information as possible in any investigation. We record our interviews with people because we know as police officers, as demonstrated, even our word is not considered gold. We have to be able to back up what we say with proof that this was said or that these questions were answered.
I want to shift gears a little bit. After this interview, then with the troopers, you now have page 75 or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
And after that, on that page, on the top of page 76, Trooper McPheron comes in to start the interview again, right?
Yes.
And on line 12, he says the time is now 14:53 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
So that would be 2:53 in the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
I asked you yesterday about the process involved in investigating this case. And I asked you if you remember how much the investigative team would be in contact with the government's attorneys, the district attorney. Remember that?
Yes.
And you said that that happens, but in this particular case, it was.
Oh my Lord. Sorry, I had to stop for a second. I'm gonna miss you too, and I'm also gonna miss the chat because Thursday I work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., so I won't be able to be here. Friday I work from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then I don't know after that because they didn't tell me. So, Call Town, I feel your pain.
Next week
All right.
is my birthday.
I know. And I won't even be able to hang out with you, really, because I'll be at work.
Well, it's okay.
I'll make it up to you.
Well,
Giggity. All right, let's keep going because I'm trying to get through this guy as quick as possible. I might speed him up just a touch more. But if it gets to be fast, let me know.
Trooper Claus and Trooper McPheron that have been doing that. Right?
I believe they were staying in contact with Mr. West. I had not had any contact with Mr. West. I was not the lead investigator on this case.
It was actually Mr. Shalley that had this case for this.
Originally, yes, sir.
Okay, and he's not any longer with the district attorney's office, is he?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you ever have any contact with Mr. Shalley about this case?
During the investigation? I do not believe so. I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No.
Is it possible that it happened, but you just don't remember?
It's very possible. I talked to the district attorney's office on several times throughout the week, pending concerning other cases.
And so you'd be in contact with him maybe by phone or email or fax or something like that?
I would. I could be. It's very possible that I was in contact or talked to the district attorney's office and Mr. Shalley on this case because we were going to be going to grand jury relatively quickly.
Do you have a discussion or an email from him about 4:30 in the afternoon on Friday?
I don't recall.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yeah, you just gave a copy to Mr. West? Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defense Exhibit A. That's an email from Dan Shalley, isn't it?
It appears to be yes.
And it's addressed to several people, right?
Yes, it is.
And you're one of the people to whom it is addressed, right?
Yes.
And it's sent Friday, November 19th, 2004 at 16:35, right?
Yes.
That's 4:35 in the afternoon, right?
Yes.
And the subject is Riddell, Errant, etc.
Yes.
Can you please read the first paragraph?
Excuse me. We currently plan on presenting the Riddell and Errant charges to the grand jury on Friday, November 26, 2004, because Thursday, November 25th is Thanksgiving. If we can develop charges against Rachelle Waterman, that case should be presented to the grand jury at the same time for multiple reasons.
So at 4:35, and I think that we can agree that that is after the interview with you and Mr. Errant, right?
This email?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
4:35, the DA is saying, if we can develop charges, right?
Yes, sir.
If we can means at that point they couldn't be developed. Wouldn't you agree?
We believe it was still open.
I understand it was still open, but what that means is that at 4:35, the district attorney's review of the evidence is that there isn't enough to develop charges, right?
Objection is speculative.
It does call for speculation as to what Mr. Shalley might have been thinking.
Well, let me put it this way. If we can means that it's something that might happen in the future, right?
Yes.
If I say, if we can, weather permitting, we'll go to Ketchikan on Friday, it means that it may happen, right?
Correct. This, and you're talking about the email here that
talking about
he
the
sent at
email.
16:35.
Sent at 16:35.
That doesn't mean, I don't remember this email. It doesn't mean it meant that I didn't open my email up. I don't know. I'm not disputing the email at all. But this email was sent at 16:35. When Mr. Shalley wrote the email or thought about what he was going to say in the email concerning the case, I don't know if that took place at 16:34 or if it took place the day before. I don't know.
At the time, well, Mr. Arendt was arrested late that morning, wasn't he, on the morning of the 19th?
Yes.
Right? And we agreed that the interview with Trooper McFerrin started at 2:53, right?
With Jason Around?
Yes.
Yes.
An hour and a half, right?
Yes.
Roughly an hour and a half. The email was instantaneous, is it not?
No.
Let me put it to you this way. It goes through pretty quickly, doesn't it?
No. Especially
Dr. Craig?
not when it's coming from the state server all the time. The state servers can get backed up. I've received emails that have been sent to me by anyone at the district attorney's office concerning follow-ups or subpoenas to be served that were sent and didn't arrive 18 to 24 hours.
The date when an email is listed as sent, though, is the date that somebody hits send, not when you open it, right?
I believe so.
So that was sent. Whether you received it or not, that was sent at 4:35 on Friday. Right?
Yes.
About an hour and a half after the interview with Jason Arendt.
Correct.
All right.
I don't know if the sent was when he hit the enter key to send it, or if that's when the state server sent it. I don't know.
You just said that when you send an email,
Security checks for viruses and things like that.
but whatever the state server does, you have no reason to disbelieve that that was sent at 4:35.
No, I do
Friday
not.
afternoon.
No.
All right. Your Honor, since at this point the witness has identified the exhibit and has said that he has no reason to distrust it, I would move for its admission.
Any objection?
No.
Exhibit A is admitted.
Thank you. Now,
Here, I'll go ahead and take that, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I could just have a moment here, look at. Now, after 4:35 in the afternoon, you went with Sergeant McFerrin to interview Rachelle Waterman, didn't you?
Yes.
And you knew that Brian Riddell was going to be down at the courthouse, right?
He was
He's going to be
scheduled to be arraigned. Yes, sir.
And so you went down to the courthouse to see if Rachelle Waterman was there, right?
I believe we did, yes.
And at that point, you did not see Rachelle, right?
I don't recall seeing her at the court.
So you then went over to, actually it turned out to be the Pierce's house, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And Rachelle was there with Lorraine Pierce, whom you've seen earlier in this trial.
She was with Lorraine Pierce, but I believe she was at
her house?
At her house.
Doc was not there, was he?
No, he was not present.
And you did not wait for Doc to come by and say, listen, we want to go and talk to your daughter, did you?
No, that was something Sergeant McFerrin had been handling.
Now, you had talked previously about how one of the schools that you've gone to was the basic and advanced Reed interrogation technique. You remember saying that?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, under the Reed technique, isn't there a difference between interview and interrogation?
Correct.
Interview is when you're trying to gather facts, right?
Yes, we're trying to establish whether the person is going to be honest with us or dishonest with us.
But part of it is to also gather facts, right? To learn what people have to say.
Mainly it's to establish whether the person is having a problem with threatening questions or non-threatening questions. That's part of the interview process. We're going to normally start the interview off when we have what we call a complete unknown, and we're going to ask the person specific questions that are non-threatening to them. Those questions may be, what's your address? What is your birth date? What high school did you go to? Things of that nature. To try to establish a norm on the way they respond to these questions. And at one point after a series of these questions, we will ask them what we refer to as a threatening question concerning the incident that we're investigating, such as, do you have any knowledge about this crime? And we'll look for the reaction in the way they answer the question.
And an interview, in that sense, like you said, is not as intense, shall we say, as an interrogation. Do you agree with me?
Yes, the interview stage is not as intense now.
And in fact, Reed teaches several different steps for interrogation, right?
They teach, yes.
And in the interrogation, at that point, you reserve interrogations for somebody that you think has done it.
We think is being dishonest. That is not being truthful. Someone who may have knowledge of it, not specifically just the person who.
All right, I gotta stop real quick because that's what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about.
What's that?
That's the read technique.
Oh, wow. It looks like very sensible.
But I understand that this wasn't a thing back then, but now all these techniques have been, well, not all of them, most of them have been proven false. Like within the past year or two, people have poked so many holes in that it's not concrete, because that's what they would say.
Yes, whoever, she was trained in it.
Yeah.
That's why she has the book.
Yep. Trained in that, and then mental health first aid. I didn't pay for this.
Wow, wait a minute. You got trained in mental health first aid and you can't deal with me. What's the matter with you?
I know. I didn't pay for this. I took this on a lunch break.
on a lunch break.
Just letting you know. I don't interrogate like that. They wanted us to, but I would never, ever, ever interrogate like that. How he did things. Nope. No. You don't treat people like that, for starters. And yeah. It does. It does.
I actually took care of quite a few of those kind of people too. So,
yeah,
they just get me, those kind of people.
But he is right. There is, sorry if that's really loud in the mic. There is a difference between interviewing somebody and interrogating. But anyways, let's see what wisdom he's about to share with us, so I can tell him he's dumb.
It
Yes.
is designed to overcome barriers.
Are you going over?
I had sent you a private message.
I thought it started at 6:15.
It does, but she, says hi to everybody, and I basically said I have 20 minutes or so.
Okay, I'll stop at 6:30.
All right.
Correct.
And get somebody to say something, right?
Yes, it is.
And at this point, you knew that Rachelle Waterman was not going to be interviewed, right?
I'm sorry?
You knew Rachelle Waterman was not going to be interviewed. She was going to be interrogated.
No, I don't believe that. I believe at the beginning of this thing, Sergeant McFerrin discussed a few things with her that were in the interview stage, trying to establish and set grounds.
Well, at this point, under your opinion, you did not believe that she was being truthful, as you described.
I did not believe she had been truthful with us the whole week, or with the investigators that week.
Because of that, as you said, you use an interrogation to deal with somebody that you don't think has been truthful, right?
That has not been truthful in the interview stage.
And so you're going, at this point, you're at least suspecting we're going to interrogate Rachelle Waterman.
I believe at that point that this is going to turn into an interrogation. But as I stated before, Sergeant McPherson started the interview out in an interview mode per se.
And yet, even though you suspected this might go to an interrogation, you did not wait for Doc Waterman, did you?
No, Sergeant McPherson was handling that.
You've had kids, right?
Yes.
How would you feel if the police came and took your kid down to be interrogated? Not interviewed, but interrogated. Do you want to be there?
Speculative.
Overruled. Answer if
I'm
you
sorry.
can.
How would I feel if the police came and contacted my teenage kid about a crime that they...
You knew that your kid was going to be interrogated. Subjected, your 16-year-old daughter was going to be subjected to the read technique by two people that had done it for longer than she had been alive.
Well, I can see where a parent may have concerns with that. Me, if my child was involved in some type of crime, they better be telling the truth. If an officer's going to come and interrogate them or come in and interview them, that's what they have. That's what their job is. That's what they have to do. Would I like to know about it? Yeah, I would say I probably would like to know about it. Am I going to interfere with it in any way? No.
You would like to know about it, but you didn't extend that same courtesy to Doc Waterman, did you?
I believe we talked to, Sergeant McPherson talked to Lorraine Pierce about it. Lorraine was currently watching Rachelle. I believe he had gone to the arraignment of Brian Riddell.
And that was scheduled at 4:30, right?
I don't recall exactly what time it was scheduled.
Arraignment's pretty much when somebody comes into court and they're presented with the charges, right?
Yes.
And the judge says, I can read them or don't read them. Do you want a lawyer? What do you want to do? That sort of stuff. Takes usually about 10 minutes, right?
No, it takes a little longer than that.
Maybe on some, but this is district court, isn't it?
It normally takes anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. In the Craig court with the magistrates, they read, they're very detailed in the reading of the rights and the pleas and that. It can take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes.
You got there about 5 o'clock, right?
To
The Waterman household. 4:55, I believe, when you indicated in your report.
Hmm? 4:50, yes, sir.
4:50, I'm sorry, I was off by 5 minutes. All right, so you could have waited for, what, 10, 15, 20 minutes, couldn't you?
We could have. I had no knowledge of how long Doc was going to be. That was, like I said, that was something Sergeant McPherson was setting up. You'll have to ask him these questions.
Well, we'll deal with that when
I understand. One of the issues was, and I'm not making excuses up, neither myself or Sergeant McPherson had eaten that day. We had taken a break. Trooper Klaus and his team were taking Mr. Arant to the north end of the island, while Sergeant McPherson was setting up the contact to go up and talk to Rachelle Waterman. I went down and picked up quick dinner for us and brought it back up, and we actually ended up eating dinner in the car. I don't know what Sergeant McPherson had taken care of lining up Rachelle Waterman's interview.
But if I understand your testimony, you would want to know whether your daughter was going to be interrogated.
Possibly, yes.
All right, now you actually talked with a number of young people in this case, right?
Yes,
You talked with Amanda Voslo, right?
I did.
You talked with her a couple of times.
Yes, I did.
And the first time her mom was there,
I was at her residence at about 6:30 in the morning, roughly.
something like that.
Yeah.
And the second time was that afternoon, and the principal was there.
Yes.
And you also talked to Laura Taylor, right?
Yes.
And that was at the school,
Yes, it was.
and the principal was there.
I had the principal. Any interviews were done at the school. The principal was present for him.
You also talked to Cammie May,
Yes.
and the principal was there.
Correct.
And Katie Atland,
Altman, yes.
Atland, I'm sorry. And the principal was there.
Yes.
And Katrina Nelson,
The first time was in the principal's office. The second time was at her residence with her mother.
with her mother. And Jill May,
Yes.
and the principal was there.
Yes.
And I may butcher the next name. Brianna Goheen.
No, that's right.
Okay. And the principal was there.
Yes.
You also talked to Trina Peavy. And her mom was there, actually.
Her mom had requested that I conduct the interview with her at the residence. And her mom had requested that she ask if she could remain present during the interview.
And in all of those interviews with people under the age of 18, you made sure that an adult was present.
Well, I believe the reason the principal was present at the school is because it's school policy.
You made sure that you followed the school policy, right?
The principal followed the school policy.
All right.
I had nothing against the principal being present for that, no.
Your Honor, we've been going about an hour and 15 minutes. You generally take breaks about this point. This is a good time to take a break.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll reconvene at 5 minutes before the hour. Please remember the admonition, ladies and gentlemen. Don't discuss the case even with one another. Keep an open mind. Have no contact with parties, witnesses, or others, and no experiments. See you in 10 minutes.
Mr. Habib, you had said that one of the courses you went through was the beginning and advanced interrogation techniques by the Reed School, right?
Reed and Associates, yeah.
Reed and Associates. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm going to ask if you could turn to page 418.
So that's a little confusing. Not what you
Hey,
said,
Robin.
but it's like in the opening statements, it's like she did, but then she didn't, then she did, but then she didn't. And then, but so far after that, they haven't really tied anything together.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I can't wait to hear her current boyfriend at the time of the unaliving, which is on Monday. We're going to watch his testimony. I can't wait to hear what he has to say, because then it will really make my mind up about all of this.
Yeah.
Uh,
And go ahead. And then whoever, I mean, it sounds like there was an adult present, but it kind of depends on the state if it's required. Like Florida, their law is adult does not have to be present. You can interrogate a child without parent permission or anything like that. But Florida is its own country.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Been a lot of
For reference, you have
This is
approached
Criminal
with...
Interrogations and Confessions, 4th edition by Enbow, Reed, Buckley, and Jane. Been a lot of research on interrogations and confessions in the past 15 years based on the number of false confessions, right? Would you not agree with that?
I'm sorry, if you could repeat that. I
Sure.
apologize.
There's been a lot more research on interrogations and confessions in the past 15 years because of the documented cases of false confessions.
I can't say yes or no to that. I can say that one of the reasons the Reed technique was developed was to help to eliminate false confessions.
And you certainly don't want someone to confess falsely, do you?
No, we never want that.
And in fact, in the new edition, they talk about a new chapter addressing the timely issue of distinguishing between true and false confessions, right?
I haven't read this.
Okay. It's in the Kawak Trooper Station. You haven't looked at it?
No,
Is it in the Craig Police Department?
no, it's not.
So you don't keep up then with the latest research?
I don't have this particular book.
Okay. You have an older book?
I have the older basic manual and the advanced manual.
Well, looking at the first full paragraph on 418, that's in the chapter on distinguishing between true and false confessions, isn't it?
I object as to the reading of the book. The sergeant said he's never seen the book before, so I would be objecting to it. It's hearsay.
It's a hearsay exception to impeach a person with a learned treatise, especially one that he has recognized as authoritative in the field.
That's only for an expert.
Are you going to lay a foundation for you to be an expert on the interrogation?
Excuse me, I can if the court wishes.
Well, it's for using cross-examination. The state never presented Sergeant Habib as an expert in interrogation, so therefore, I don't think you can, in the process of trying to get in experts, try to get this person, the defense, try to get this person qualified as an expert. So I don't think it's operative.
Why don't we move to another area and you can take this up at the break?
Well, actually, the remainder of my cross-examination would deal with this.
And we'll take it up outside the presence of the jury.
Okay.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I tried not to have you standing by while I discuss these issues with counsel, but it sounds as if I need to discuss it with him at this point. Again, please remember the admonition, don't discuss the case, keep an open mind, no contact with parties, no experiments. We'll see you shortly. go ahead and be seated. Did you want to respond to the state's argument that Sergeant Habib was not called upon to give expert testimony in his direct testimony? And so, I mean, it's essentially, as I understand it, you want to qualify him as an expert on interrogation and then cross-examine him on that using a treatise that he's never read.
I can either do that, but in past cases, Your Honor, there are standard tomes, reference manuals, whatever, for criminal investigation, and generally, I've never encountered a problem before in cross-examining a police officer based upon standard reference manuals in certain cases to show that this is what police are trained to do, this is what the current research is, and this is what they did not do. So for that reason, I think that it is valuable in this case. If this was a I don't know, a child sex abuse case and there were interview protocols that were not followed, then, again, I've used standard text to impeach an officer on not following the interview protocols that officers and child social workers are trained to use so that they don't.
Just to back up a minute, perhaps I missed it. Did you, I know that you asked the officer about whether or not he had training, or somewhere along the line it came up that he had taken basic and I think advanced training in the Reed technique.
Right, and this is the Reed technique book.
So the next question is,
Do you guys want to listen to them go back and forth?
Absolutely not. Thank you very much.
I didn't think so. So let me try to find where they actually get back to it. Arguing. I have no idea where this starts, but we're gonna go ahead and start right here. I have no idea. Yes, Frank. Jason will watch his starting on Monday.
So it's dealing with the state had called Sergeant Habib an expert and on cross-examination they're going through with these, as that's recognized as learned treatises in this area, and so it just doesn't apply because Sergeant Habib's not an expert. He's a lay witness. The defense never gave notice that they were going to use Sergeant Habib as an expert witness in interrogation techniques. The state never did and never had his call.
Okay. We can keep going because that's still out of the presence of the jury, and I don't give a shit. We're sitting here talking about a book. Talking about if he's an expert or not. Says, I mean, basically you try to set him up as a straw man expert, whatever that means. Well, I mean, he does sniffle a lot. All right, here we go.
please be seated. I'm sorry, Mr. Wells, go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, Your Honor, we have no further questions.
Redirect.
Yes, Jermaine. When you're interviewing a juvenile, what's your requirement about parent notification?
When we're interviewing a juvenile,
Yeah, what's legally what you're required to notify parent?
legally we're only required to notify a parent when the child's been arrested. When we're going to interview a child, it's legally we have to ask the child if they want a parent present while we're interviewing them.
Okay. Now, the email that we talked about, or you talked about with that Mr. Shalley sent. Now it says on there. Do you have that with you?
I believe I had it to
sorry.
the owner.
Okay.
Here we go.
And what was the time it was sent? At least that's what it says up there
It's stamped 1635, which would be 4:35 p.m.
on the.
on the 19th of November, 2004.
Okay. Now, Yeah, I think you were shown this copy of the transcript showing that when Mr. Trooper McFerrin started his interview with Mr. Aaron, is that right?
Yes, sir.
It started at 14:53 hours.
14:53, 2:53 p.m. on the 19th.
And here's the end of the interview. What does it show as the time the interview ended?
16:04, which would be 4:04.
And the email Mr. Shalley sent was approximately how long after?
31 minutes after the completion of Mr. Arant's interview with Sergeant McFerrin.
Okay. Now, do you know what Mr. Shalley had been told at the time he sent that?
No, I do not.
So you don't have any idea whether he had been told of what Mr. Aaron had said or not?
No, sir, I do not. That was something between, I'm not even going to speculate whether it's between Sergeant McFerrin and District Attorney Dan Shalley or not. I wasn't aware of anything.
Okay. Do you still have the transcript there?
I'm sorry, my interview with Mr. Arant?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, he had referenced on page 71, and I think 72 about Mr. Arant's telling you about the DWI accident. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And he, then on page 73, Mr. Arant says, I actually didn't give her any of those details. Do you remember Mr. Wells asking you about that?
Yes.
Intersection. Okay. I'd ask you to look earlier on in your interview at page 65.
Okay.
And at the top of that page, does it say, did you tell her how you guys were going to do it? Because she knew we've got the comment that she was probably drunk and drove off the cliff, okay? Mr. Aaron says, I told her that alcohol was probably going to be involved. You said, why is that? And Mr. Aaron said, well, Brian had mentioned that he should probably get Lauri drunk to make her more pliable.
Correct.
Okay. So he had told her earlier that he had told her that she was going to get drunk.
That alcohol would be involved and probably get her drunk to make her more pliable,
Okay.
more manageable.
So Mr. Aaron had told you earlier in the interview that he did give some details to her.
Yes.
Okay. Now, on page 61 of that interview, where I believe it's number 8 on the chart, JA just assumed you were looking for me to say that. He wrote it up here.
Yes, sir.
Now, that comes from page 61 where it says, quote, Jason, I just assumed you were looking for me to say that, which was the reason for that, unquote, correct?
Yes.
Now, earlier, though, in the interview, just right above it, the interview, you asked the question, or you made the statement, you were showing 1,000 more remorse over Lauri's death than her own daughter, and then Jason, it says in the transcript, Jason Arant, indiscernible, in quotation marks. Do you know what indiscernible means?
They couldn't make out what was being said.
Okay, so we don't know what Jason said that.
No.
And then you wrote, and then the transcript says, huh, and then Jason, and the transcript says, in quotations again, or excuse me, in parentheses, indiscernible. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, which page are you on, sir?
Page 61.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped pages over here. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so a second time, we're not know what Mr. Aaron's saying.
Correct.
And then immediately after that, you say, well, of course she did. Of course she did. My God, we've known this, Jason. And then he says, I just assumed you were looking for me to say that, which was the reason for that.
Correct.
But we don't know what it was because it's indiscernible.
Correct.
Okay. Now, when you went and interviewed Jason, the transcript shows that you recorded it. Is that right?
Yes.
And did you do that intentionally?
Yes.
And why is that?
To preserve evidence, to preserve any statements that Mr. Arant may have made to me, to cover the interview process, to ensure that, for many reasons, that as we're dealing with here today, this was not set up.
Okay. When you went in there and talked to him, did you know that it was being recorded?
I'm sorry, when I was in there?
Yeah.
Yes, I activated the recorder.
Okay. And, okay, so you didn't have anything to hide then in your interview?
No.
Okay. In his interviews up to this time, Mr. Wells talked to you about, you knew that he'd been interviewed several different times prior to this. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How would you describe Mr. Arendt's giving up information over the course of the interviews?
Very slow. It was almost like he was seeing how much we knew.
Objection to speculation.
Sustained.
Okay.
For speculation as to what was going through Mr. Arendt's mind.
All right.
It was very slow.
Okay.
Every interview produced more and more information from Mr. Arendt.
Is that unusual when you're talking to someone who?
No, it's not.
Okay. How often do you interview someone who's a suspect and you ask them a question and they immediately tell you everything?
I can very soundly say in 18 years it's happened one time before I even got to ask the guy questions or read him his rights. He said, I want to say one thing. I'm the guy you're looking for.
Okay.
One time in 18 years. The rest of the time, very defensive, trying to cover up and lie about it.
Okay.
I would object to this lie about it, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Can the jury be stricken? Or, jury be,
No, we're going to keep them.
I'm sorry. Can the jury be instructed, the comment be stricken?
I instruct you to disregard that last comment.
Now, last Friday when you were on stand, Mr. Wells asked you about what evidence you had relied on when you were talking about Ms. Waterman's involvement. Remember that?
What information we had throughout the investigation concerning her involvement?
Yeah, when you went in to talk to him. And what is it you remember?
We had several pieces of information that we had obtained during the course of the investigation. Prior to this point, this information was obtained through briefings that other briefings and other officers and troopers had passed on during these briefings, through interviews that I had conducted, through observations made. Some of those things included, to start right off the top, on Rachelle Waterman's. It was briefed to us by Sergeant McFerrin then on Rachelle Waterman's.
Your Honor, I would object to hearsay.
I think that the defense went into this same question on their cross, and so I'm going into it on redirect. He said he was trying to.
You need to rephrase that question.
Okay. All right. What information were you aware that led to the suspicion that Ms. Waterman was involved in the case?
That Rachelle Waterman had attempted to provide an alibi for Jason Arendt, and that when she was confronted with the fact that she was possibly not being truthful, she admitted not being truthful, and that she had tried to provide a false alibi. On Monday, November 15th, I personally received information from the school. The school principal advised me that.
I would object to hearsay in that manner.
Unless you're going to tie it up, I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay. I don't have any other questions for Sergeant Habib, Your Honor.
All right. May Sergeant Habib be excused, or is he subject to recall?
There's Your Honor, we would ask that he be subject to, he remain under subpoena subject to potential recall.
All right. Well, we got through that one. Thank God. Let's Go says, don't get drunk and go on any nighttime adventures, Gabby. But if you are, do listen to your body. If it says lay down, just find a fluffy snowbank. There you go. I don't mean to stream and run, but Gabby and I do have to go, so I have to quickly end this. We will be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern time with Jason. Sticky, I will let her know. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this because Gabby and I have somewhere we got to be. We got to go mod somewhere else. If you guys want to come over to Grandma's house, we're playing Cahoots. Everybody have a safe and great Friday and weekend, and we will see you all on Monday. Bye.
Peace.